Take 3. Golden. All right. Hey everybody, this is Gabriel Miguel from Anastasia USA, and this is Ringing Cedars North America Weekly News. So the point of this video series is to give you updates from everything I'm seeing in the Ringing Cedars community every week. There's a lot happening. We're very involved in the North American Ringing Cedars community, and I just want to bring to you all the news and updates and developments that I see for the Kins Domain movement and the Ringing Cedars movement across North America. So I hope you guys find this really valuable. I think this first episode will be pretty exciting. I think there's a lot of good stuff to share, and can share a lot of my hope for 2021 and the near future and everything like that. So I'm going to grab my phone here. I got some notes. So number one thing is I want you guys to really stay tuned for this. Hopefully going to be able to upload this on a weekly basis, just give you a weekly check-in. When somebody's offering their land for others to join them for a Kins Domain settlement, we can talk about that here. Where there's new laws or something passed like that, we can talk about that here. Events, Ringing Cedars meetups, new online platforms that we're launching, which I'll be discussing today. All types of things related to the Ringing Cedars movement. We'll be able to talk about it here. And this is for us, like in Russia, they have so much community that's been built around this for years and years, but we don't really have that in North America. So that's kind of the goal of this here, is to be able to start building some community and start giving, updates and content that everybody needs. So the first thing that I want to talk about that I'm really excited about is there's some new developments on the website. So if you go to anastasiausa.land, make sure you sign up for the email list, or at least follow us on Facebook here and YouTube and every other social thing to stay posted when this launches. But you may have gotten the email a couple weeks ago, you may not, but to recap, there's 2 new platforms. One of them pretty much complete, the other one under development, that are being launched soon, that I think are going to be really, really useful in moving forward the Ringing Cedars movement here. So I'll start talking about them. The first one is a updated version of the Kins Domain directory. So if you go online, anastasiausa.land, and you look in the top right of the menu, you'll see that it says Kins Domain directory. If you click there, it's pretty much finished. What it is, it's basically, I believe, it's the only system like this that exists in the world where you can create a profile, right? If you have land to share with others and you're inviting people to join you, create a settlement or purchase land near you, and you either have the land or, that's all in development, you can create a profile and you go through and submit different details about your land and like your Kins Domain settlement. So like a name, a description, location, all these things, photos, all that. You can submit it yourself. You click a button, it adds it to a Google map on the top of the page, and people can scroll around the Google map and can just look and see where these different settlements are located. And the cool thing is that you can log back into that profile and you can manage and update that listing however you feel like it. So to my knowledge, what currently exists as far as searchable Kins Domain directories is either things like what we used to have. So the reason why this got built out again was because I had heard in the community that the listings that were there were either old or outdated, and or other people who had submitted them already wanted to update them. But the problem was that I was managing it all. People would have to submit their information to me, and I would have to go and either post these listings or update them, which with everything that I have going on in life just happened very infrequently. So it wasn't a real-time thing like I had originally intended it to be. So all the systems I've seen across the world are things like that, where people send in the details of their Kins Domain and someone else has to post it. It's usually just a raw blank web page, or it's just like a Google map where somebody just drops a little pin on a Google map, but then there's not more detail that someone can see. So to my knowledge, this is the first system where someone can log in, create a profile. Every listing gets a page. You can click on each listing, and there's a whole page with all the details, lots of useful details, contact information for everyone who's putting their land up for offer there. So it's really useful and looks great across different platforms and everything, and I'm really excited for that long term, because I think the plan is to everyone who has land and is inviting other people to join them can post it there, and it's a really central place, easy to use platform for people to do this and get others reaching out to them and involved in their settlement. So that's kind of the first thing. So it's the updated Kins domain directory. And the second platform, this is brand new. There was a version of this years ago when I first did the first Anastasia USA website. Some of you may remember. Thanks for sticking around for that for that long. What this is, it's basically, I like to call it an online Ringing Cedars member community. So it's free. It's not like you have to pay to be a part of it. It's essentially the same profile that you create for the Kins domain directory is the same profile for the member community. So you can have the member community, basically, it's an individual, it's a membership, wait a second, it's a directory, kind of social media type platform of all the Ringing Cedars readers across North America and most likely internationally. I imagine there's going to be people joining from all types of countries just because of how user friendly and how good the platform is. So basically what it is you can create a profile and you can select things like what you're looking for. So you can say, I'm looking for my soulmate, right? I'm looking for land to join a Kins domain settlement. I'm looking for friends, or I'm looking, for land and my soulmate, right? Things like that. You select what you are looking for. You can put your birthday in, you put your location. What else do you put? In the beginning, it's birthday, location, gender, things like that. Profile, image, and then you create the profile. And then what happens is, at the top of the page, there's going to be another Google map there. So every member that joins will be listed on this Google map. You can click on a pin and you can click to their profile. So you can imagine how this starts to become really usable, right? You've got all these readers across North America, internationally, appearing on this map. And here's the next awesome thing, is that you start to have this big directory of people, and you can search by all of those things. You can search by age, you can search by location, state and country, you can search by gender, you can search by what they're looking for. So other people looking for their soulmates. You can search for men looking for their soulmates living in Canada, right? Anything like that. So it starts to become really useful. And what happens is every profile has different sections, like about me, a media section, video section, the standard kind of social things, and shows their age, what they're looking for, other kinds of details, and it's really nice. My goal was to create something very user-friendly, something modern, something that I think people would come back to. Personally, why I think this will be very successful is that I found my wife on the Anastasia.ru platform. So Vladimir or whoever else is watching from Russia, thank you guys for building that, because that played a huge role in my life. And this is basically my more modern version of something like that, geared towards English-speaking people, because we don't have a platform like that where people who are searching for their soulmates or whatever can come in, and you can private message other profiles, other users there. So you can add people as friends, and it's really user-friendly. Whenever someone messages you, you get an email notification. You guys are gonna like it. And I've really been working on this for a few months now. It's in the final stages of development. As far as getting the Google map going, I have a guy who's working on that, and it should be launching within the next few weeks. Don't hold me to it if it doesn't come out in the next couple of weeks, but that's what I'm shooting for. I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. So that's another really exciting thing. So you can search for your soulmates. You can search for, you can publicly list yourself basically as a person who's looking for land, right? To join some kind of settlement, either like you're going to buy land, or you perhaps might be interested if someone has land to offer you for free. This can become a searchable public directory for that. So I think it's going to be really useful for people in general. Like I said, I will be sharing about that as soon as it's ready for people to join. There will be emails, there will be social media posts, videos made about this, and everyone will be able to join. And I anticipate it's going to grow pretty substantially, pretty quickly. I feel like it's something people have been asking for this for a long time. So really happy to bring that to you guys. I'm a web designer by trade now. My first ever website was my first Anastasia USA website years ago. And through circumstance and fate, I became a really good web designer. So there's going to be a new homepage that I've designed that's launching once all this is ready. You guys are going to love it. Super user-friendly, very modern, everything like that. Going back in my notes here, I want to make sure I cover everything. A couple other things here. So our Facebook group, Ringing Cedars North America, please join if you're not in already. We'd love to have you. There's a ton of activity there. It's very active. So if you are a Ringing Cedars reader anywhere in North America or the English-speaking world, join and get to meet people, because we've got a lot of discussion happening in there, and people are meeting each other all the time. One of my best friends is meeting with another reader who's kind of part of our planning group now. They're meeting each other today, and this is all because of this Facebook group, right? They're meeting each other in California. That's happening right now as I'm recording this. And so it's powerful. So make sure to join if you're not already a member, and it's just going to keep growing, and more activity will continue to happen over time. So there's that. We are also planning a potential readers gathering in 2021, Ringing Cedars Readers Gathering in 2021 or in 2022, depending on, it's like COVID circumstances and things of that nature. So we will keep you posted. We have a planning group of some very dedicated readers and good friends of mine who are working together on this. We've already had a few venues offered to us. If you're watching this and you're one of those people, thank you very much. We really appreciate it. And if you have a place where you would potentially like to host a group of Ringing Cedars readers, 50 to 100, 200 people, something like that, please reach out, contact me directly, or post in the Facebook group or something like that. That would be really cool. So also there's going to be a GoFundMe for that as well. The event will happen. Location and date is to be determined, but it will happen. So we decided to start raising funds for that. So that way we can be able to provide you guys a better experience, perhaps maybe some level of catering or entertainment or something of that nature. We really want to make it good for you guys. So there's that. And yeah, in 2021, I feel really, really hopeful about the movement at this point. I feel like the readership, the Ringing Cedars readership is more active than I've seen it ever before. And to me, that's a really good sign. We're part of there's a really good group of us that we've got, and we're meeting on a weekly basis. And I feel really hopeful about the people in that group. And I have lots of plans for expansion. So essentially after this first set of platforms launches, the new Kins domain directory, the new member community, the new homepage for the website, maybe I'll put like a screenshot here in the video so you guys can see it. Once all that launches, I have a plan for expanding our online community. I want to use a lot of Facebook advertising. So $1, $2, $3, $4, $5 a day is enough to get Anastasia USA and this Facebook group and this Kins domain directory and this member community in front of all the Ringing Cedars readers across the world, really. So we can do a lot. So I've also built out a donation platform. So if you guys like what you're seeing here, you appreciate the work that we're doing and you'd like to see more, I invite you to come and donate on that platform. You know, it could be a one-time donation, a recurring donation, but anything that you do is very appreciated and goes right back into building this community. So things like advertising and promoting our groups, our events, our online platforms, promoting articles. You know, this goes into research. This allows us to hire people to do graphic design, all types of things. And yeah, it just goes right back into the community. So anything you give to me will help bring more people in. And I think that's it for today. So this is the first episode, and I invite you to stay tuned for more. There's going to be a lot happening within the recent future when these platforms launch. After these launch, and the plan is to start receiving donations in order to start running advertisements and building out, you know, the audience, because I have ways of reaching pretty much every Ringing Cedars reader that's on Facebook or Instagram, and inviting them into this community, inviting them into the discussion, and connecting you all, because that's what this entire thing is about. That's the only reason I'm doing any of this, is to connect Ringing Cedars readers with each other, because there's so many of us who read these books, and we essentially are alone, for most of us, for some period of time. And we're located all over the country. And actually, this is really important that I'm starting to talk about this, but we are located all over the country, and everyone wants to build Kins domains and they want to find their soulmate, but no one knows other readers. And so that's the point of Anastasia USA and all these platforms, is to connect people in order to facilitate people finding their soulmates, people you know, building Kins domain communities, building their own Kins domains, finding fellowship with each other, inspiration, and that's kind of what all this is about. So just really appreciate any bit of support that we get, and not exactly sure, I kind of lost my train of thought there, but I think you guys get the point. And then after all that launches and the advertisements go out and we can start growing the community and connecting more people, the goal is to, let me put this phone down, it's on airplane mode, don't worry. The goal is I'm going to get back into creating a lot more content. There's a lot more content coming down the pipeline, things like long, comprehensive guides about mistakes to avoid when you're creating a Kins domain. I've been in touch with people from Russia, people across the United States, you name it, all over the place, and I've heard a lot of stories, you know, Europe, a lot of stories from people who have tried creating Kins domains and they have come up against obstacles. And these are things that we can learn from. We can put this in a guide, put this out to everyone, and these are things that you can read before you go out there and start to do this, you know, because there's a lot of commonly made mistakes that can be easily avoided with a little bit of knowledge beforehand. So the goal with that is to gather all these different experiences. I already have a ton already, and just organize it by category and put it out as a big guide that gets updated over time, and you can read that. So basically, we put out this big guide, and it could be very beneficial for you. You can learn from other people's experiences before you go out on your land. And I think that'll be valuable. Another guide that we're creating is income generation ideas for your Kins domain. So basically, financial self-sustainability is really important. You know, whether you're entrepreneurially minded or not, the plan of this guide will be to have a bunch of different business ideas that you can read and think about and potentially implement when you move to your land or before you move to your land. Different ways of how to maintain a level of income that can sustain your activity there, sustain your life there. when you move there, because it's really good to think about that beforehand. You don't want that to be an afterthought in your planning and in your experience, because that has happened to a lot of people, and people have had to move away from their land because of that and all these other things. So maintaining a certain level of income, very good. We have interviews lined up. My dear friend Vanna, she's the publisher of the books in Chinese, for example. She's published all 10 books in Chinese. Wonderful human being. We should be talking publicly at some point to share, insights from her experience and things about the movement in China. We have a lot of really interesting guests lined up, so those will be podcasts that will be put out for everyone to enjoy. Like I said, we have these guides, other articles. If you are a writer, for example, and you would like to share your content, please send it to me. I can post it on the Anastasia USA website. So if you have, for example, if you guys get the Russian news, they do little articles here and there about people's kins domains or just people's lives, like transitioning from the city to their land. If you write any articles or you want to share your story, you can share it with me. I can post it on the website, and we can do that too. So poetry, art, anything like that you guys are doing, please feel free to share that with me. And I think that's it for today. That's pretty good update there. So if you've watched till the end, thanks for sticking with it. I appreciate your time. Again, my name is Gabriel, and there's going to be a lot coming down the pipeline. And if you feel called to support, please reach out to me, and I'd be really happy if you could do like a monthly donation or something like that. So thanks a lot, everybody. Take care. Have a beautiful day.